Quiet. We're in our happy place. Doing donuts, kicking up dirt. It's time to review the Losi Tenacity. There's a lot of cycles in RC. On-road, off-road, electric, nitro. Some of them come and go. One of those things that come and go is chassis technology. Right now, all the rage was metal chassis. Why? Probably because the market's down, and it's cheaper to design it and mill it than it is to make a mold and make a chassis out of it. So now, the Losi 10 gets a plastic chassis, and they call it the Tenacity.
All right, punch it.
Because, why? Maybe it's got plastic, we don't know. But the main difference is it's now a plastic molded tub, like they used to be. For those who don't know what a Tenacity is, it's a short course truck, 1/10 scale, 4-wheel drive with a center diff. And short course used to be what we thought would be the savior for electric racing, actually in racing in general, because it added a scale that we didn't have in America. Sure, the other countries will never get trucks. We live in Europe and we drive little cars. Who cares? But in those cycles, short course kind of cycled itself out, because we were reminded that electric buggies were fun and things go faster when they don't look scale. We lose on that one. There's some cost cutting involved in the Tenacity because it was meant to be cheaper. You can see fixed length arms, but the suspension is all the same. Plastic shock bodies, which we'll discuss later why we hate them. But overall, it's the same truck, and the value is it's now $399 street price, which means sometimes you may be able to get a little cheaper. Losi must be confused where batteries go. So this one has bottom entrance, which means you need a little quarter. They give you a plastic quarter to get into the battery, but you still have to plug it in the top. We don't get it. Bottom mount battery, who cares? I don't know. We don't like it. Most of the Losi products now come with this same ready-to-run system. It's a dynamite system, 130 amps. It's fast. Out of the box with the 3S, this car will go 50 miles an hour. Too fast for you, and probably too fast for me, but hey, speed sells, and we love it. Okay, details over. Let's talk about the handling, because that's what we care about. First of all, the car's fast. We tested it with 2S, and on our Joe's track here, it's probably too fast for the track. Most ready-to-runs that we've ever tested don't have a race suspension setup. It's more for bashing. This one's no different. It does take jumps well, but on the weird jumps, it would actually kick the back up in the air, which we've had a problem with a few of the Losi cars like that, but really it just means the suspension is too soft. But if you stay on the throttle and hit stuff right, it did pretty well. It's a basher. It's not a race car. We acknowledge that. It can be tuned to be a racer, don't get me wrong, but out of the box, it's just meant to do a lot of fun stuff, jump some stuff, run over stuff, do a lot of donuts, which we did. Dynamite brushless system is pretty common in Losi vehicles now, and we're really getting used to it and how it feels and what it does and what it doesn't do. It does go fast. 3S, you're going 50 miles an hour. That's not a track speed, that's for down the street. It's gonna scare your neighbors, it scared me. What it does lack, and the more we drive this system, the more we dislike it, there is a huge disconnect in throttle feel if you're used to a race car. It's a sensorless system, and inherently they have a little less feel. But this one has a much greater rubber band effect where the throttle distance doesn't equate to the speed or the power, and you find yourself over jumping or hitting the brakes wrong. It's just a little bit off, but that's what a race car does better in a racing system, is it made for throttle feel and control. Bashing, you'll never notice the difference, and if you've never driven a censored motor or a brushed motor, you'll never know the difference either. It's like kids with checks. Nobody knows what a check is anymore. Everybody just uses their ATM card. If you've never had a brush or brushless system, you won't know the difference. So we don't like it, but you may not care. We might be jinxed, but we always get something to go wrong. Plastic shocks are cheaper, but they also break. What happens with plastic shocks and plastic caps is that they can pull the top off, which we did have happen. And of course, in our luck, it's in the first pack or so. We did fix it, screwed it back on, filled it up with oil. There's probably some sand in there, but we never had a problem after that. Metal caps solve that problem, and a nice aluminum set will solve the problem permanently. One other thing to note, we did have a strange speed control issue. It did shut off and shut down in the first pack. It felt hot. We couldn't figure out what it was. We wiggled the fan plug and everything went back to normal. Could just been luck. We seem to have bad luck sometimes. But after that initial problem, no problems again. So, we'll just shake it out to little gremlins in the electronics that, you may have or not have. But it seemed like the fan was the key to keep the fan running, keep the speed control cool. This is an RTR, but you still do need a battery and charger. Our original first 10 minutes of the test was with a really cheap LiPo pack, low amperage rating, and to be honest with you, spend the extra money on a nice LiPo. You know, 30 bucks for a LiPo will maybe give you 10 minutes of runtime, but when we slapped in a real pack, the truck's speed increased, everything was better. So don't cheap out on the battery pack on this one. It's well worth it, but realize if you do buy the cheaper pack, it may not perform as well. The kit does come with the Spectrum AVC, Active Vehicle Control. This is a noob knob, so if you don't know how to drive, it will help you. It'll counter steer for you. If you've driven before, it's going to feel a little weird because it'll counter steer for you when you may naturally be doing it and kind of mess you up. You just got to hold the line and let the computers do their wizardry. But thankfully there's a knob. Turn it off if you want and get full control. The car out of the box on this loose track was very loose, so we actually found a nice sweet spot where it actually helped to go our lacking or fading skills of driving, but we do use it because we're not racing, and it's a cheater only if you're cheating against someone else, not yourself. So to wrap things up a little bit, $399 gets you an RTR kit. Well, almost RTR. You need the battery and a charger. Drop another $100. If you want to go 50, that 3S pack is very tempting. Who doesn't love 50 miles an hour? That's insane. It's not good for a track, but in the streets it's good. So when in doubt, just do donuts, even on the side. Velocity RC Cars Magazine, issue number 26. See the review.